Not defending bullshit, but they fixing the core game. Yeah, and that's why I said part of it is commended because at least they are fixing it to some degree, but it should have never launched in that state in the first place is the point I'm trying to make. And it's unfair that not you in particular, but the gaming community as a whole will kick one studio in the fucking throat for releasing a game that was 2 patches away from being good. But then you'll give leniency to a game that's 1,000 patches away. I think Crimson Desert's final form will come a year from now. It needs like a year worth of patches. I don't understand the picking and choosing of that, basically. Because the point I'm trying to make is, the thing y'all gotta understand is you're affecting people's jobs. These campaigns people go on to excessively hate on shit. I'm like, yo, you're taking food off of people's table. The tribalism is just weird to me. I'm also tired of the battle passes and microtransactions. I think we all are, though. Anyways, Nintendo took a L. U.S. Patent Office revokes Nintendo's patent on summoning characters to make them battle. Which, by the way, if this turns out to not be true, I'm apologizing ahead of time. Today in which we are streaming is April 1st. I think this is a real article, these ones that I have, but I'm not 100% sure because it's fucking April Fools, man. I don't know, man. Last September, Nintendo was granted a U.S. patent which covers the action of summoning another character and making them battle on the player's behalf. 2 months later, USPSTO Director John A. Squires personally ordered a re-examination of the patent, the first time since 2012 that the director had personally done so without another company officially getting involved, citing previous patents which might have made it invalid. Now, as reported by Games Fray, the USPTO has decided to reject all 26 claims made in the patent, meaning it has now been revoked. This is a non-final decision. Nintendo has 2 months to respond or longer if it asks for an extension, and there can be appeal made to the federal circuit if it doesn't agree with the decision. Nintendo's patent involves summoning other characters and making them fight for the player. The obvious real-world example being a Pokemon game where a player can summon Pokemon and use them to battle other Pokemon. If you're not following, Nintendo filed for a patent to say that we should own the exclusive rights to creating monster collecting and battling video games. And ladies and gentlemen, that is bad for innovation. They were trying to pull a Nemesis system, but as much as I don't agree with it, I halfway understand why WB was able to patent the Nemesis system because it was a very specific game mechanic. Catching monsters is a very vague and general thing because then it could get messy, right? It could turn into a situation where not only can we not have any more Pokemon clones, you could also make the argument that Nintendo's the only one allowed to put fishing mini games in their game, right? Because are you not catching monsters? I mean, fishes aren't monsters, but you're catching something. You see what I'm saying? This is much more vague, and I'm glad this fucking patent got shut down. This would have ruined gaming, and this is why you shouldn't trust Nintendo either. Yeah, it would cripple the entire JRPG market. When ordering the re-examination of the patent, Squire specifically focused on the patent's claim to have a sub-character fight alongside you with the option to make them fight either automatically or via manual control. In his order, Squire says he had determined that the substantial new questions of patentability have arisen based on the publications of 2 previous patents named Yabe and Tora. The Yabe patent was granted in 2002 to Konami and refers to a sub-character fighting alongside the player either automatically or manually, while the Tora patent is granted in 2020 to Nintendo itself and also refers to a sub-character who battles alongside the player. So there are patents for this. They might have a case for this in terms of inconsistency. Y'all shout out to Lowski with the gifted subs. I just hope they don't win, bruh. So I haven't played a Nintendo game in years, so I have to ask, has Nintendo created a new game with innovative gameplay mechanics? Recently? Innovative? No. Well executed? Yes. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't feel like they put out anything super innovative in the last 10 years. Just really well polished and executed games, I think, though. Like natural evolutions and stuff. Pokemon can be labeled as a copy of the Pocket Tamagotchis from the 90s. Maybe. Hey, Nintendo, no thank you. Arms is not innovative. That's a boxing game with slinky arms. Breath of the Wild is not innovative. That's just Zelda in an open world format. That's Zelda Ubisoft edition. Half of Breath of the Wild is just running around and fighting goblins in camps. Xenoblade's not innovative. If you think Xenoblade's innovative, you've never played a JRPG. Not innovative, but definitely influential and well executed. But like innovative, no. And to be fair, that's not a shot at Nintendo. Innovation rarely comes, period, because innovation is innovation. Most things are evolutionary by nature. Innovation is a very rare thing. That's why I got excited about Pragmata. And I could be wrong, but I've played a lot of games. And Pragmata is the first shooter that I've played with that puzzle mechanic in it. Even something as small as that, to me, that was innovative. That's why I was like, oh, this is fresh. This is different. I like it. Bayonetta is not innovative. That's just Devil May Cry. A good evolution, good execution. I love Bayonetta, but innovative? Nah. Most things naturally are not innovative. It just is what it is, bro. Yeah, it's sexy Devil May Cry. But a bit of Mass Effect, I wouldn't even call Mass Effect innovative, to be honest. I could be wrong. Somebody correct me on this because I don't want to spread misinformation. The only thing that I could think of that could potentially be innovative with Mass Effect is the story. And I could be wrong, but it's the only game that I know of, or was the first, to where all three games are connected and your decisions account across all three games, and characters you meet in the second and the third game will remember the things you did in the first. Was there another game that did that? If not, then that's innovative. But you said Rock Band. Yo, shut the fuck up, nigga. What? This nigga said Rock Band. The fuck up. Shit. That's fucking funny. You said The Witcher. What came first, Mass Effect or The Witcher? You talking about The Witcher 1? The Witcher has that? The Witcher release date. No, the game, nigga. The fucking TV show. Witcher 2 is 2011. When The Witcher 1? The Witcher came out in 2007. I think Mass Effect came out in 2007 as well. It did. Oh shit. Yeah, The Witcher had it. But here's the thing though. You might have to give Mass Effect credit, because Mass Effect 2 came out first, didn't it? Like Mass Effect 3 completed the series long before Witcher 3 even came out. So I might have to give that to Mass Effect. That's the only thing I can think of where like the stories are connected. Knights of the Old Republic. The stories in Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2 are not connected from what I remember. The Witcher 1 does not have choices that carry over to the next game. Damn, Ethos said y'all niggas lying. Okay, so that's the one thing I would say, because I would say Mass Effect's gameplay is not like super innovative with the Power Wheel. The Power Wheel wasn't Knights of the Old Republic and other BioWare games, but like the story element thing, okay. But yeah, I was trying to be fair because I know y'all know I really like Mass Effect, but I'm trying to be unbiased, trying to make sure I don't spread misinformation on it. To be fair, most games are not innovative, and that's okay as long as the game is good. The Soul Calibur series innovated with the 8-way directional input. That is true. That is a fact. But I would say Halo 1 if you're looking at shooters. Halo 1 made first-person shooters on console efficient, but I don't know from a gameplay standpoint as a whole. To be clear, it has some carryover, but they're not impacting game at all. So Mass Effect did it on a whole different level. Damn, that's crazy. Telltale games were innovative? No, they weren't. Those point and click adventures, those were popular in the 90s. I used to play those type of games. And then the carryover effect stuff from episode to episode, that's Mass Effect. Those are BioWare games, but point and click adventures have been popular. I would say they made them popular again because they kind of fell out of the zeitgeist. I'll give that to them. But like, nah, they didn't innovate on that. The Oregon Trail, right. I played mad point and click adventures when I was a kid. What about Pajama Sam and Putt Putt? Every April Fool's joke sucked. Fucking sucked, all of them. Yeah, Nintendo. I'd argue that Slay the Spire and Belantro both innovated in their own ways within the deck building genre. I'm not Slay the Spire 2 is my first one. I can't speak on that. I can't contest that. I don't know. I'm not gonna call you a liar either. Does anybody know? Were they innovative? I'm not too versed in the roguelites. Slay the Spire Def did? Okay. You thought say you did. But you see what I mean? When we talking about innovation, you see how hard it is to come up with an answer? It's very rare that a game comes out and it innovates on something. That's why I'm like low-key like cheering for Pragmata. Like, we want that, bruh. That's what we should be talking about. Versus I stand on the fact that when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, it's going to be the same exact game as the last one with better graphics. Was Legend of Dragoon innovative? Yeah, it was actually. That's why I liked Expedition 33 so much. And I could be wrong, but Legend of Dragoon was the first JRPG that I ever played that was it was like where it had that mechanic where you can make your attacks more powerful. Expedition 33 borrowed from it. That's why I liked Expedition 33 so much. That was the first game that I knew that did that shit. So yeah, Legend of Dragoon I would say was innovative. And like, you gotta understand, innovation doesn't mean like some big thing. It can be something small. Long as you do something unique, that's innovative, bruh. And it can make a big impact because then it gets implemented into a lot of good things. Cough, cough, Titanfall. Talking point is good. We want more gameplay mechanics and performance graphics. It took peak in 2012 in Red Dead Redemption 2. The Nemesis system was innovative. That's what made it fun. What about the Arkham series? Arkham was not innovative because Spider-Man 2 had that combat system from the Arkham series. What the Arkham series did is it polished it and took it to another level, but it didn't invent it. Nah. Could you dodge and parry during the attacks in Legend of Dragoon? From what I remember, you can make your attacks more powerful. There was no dodge or parry. That's why I said that Expedition 33 builds upon Legend of Dragoon. So it added to it, but Legend of Dragoon was the first to kind of do that thing. Spec Ops The Line was the most innovative story direction I've ever seen with the mental health stuff. I don't know if I would say that was innovative. That was just strong writing. We talking about gameplay standpoints. The Flick-It system from the Skate games, that was innovative, yeah. Although, if I wanted to be a well-actually ass nigga, I could argue that the Flick-It system is not that innovative. It borrowed from the concept of Fight Night. Because Fight Night was the first to do that. And it's the same idea. But if you want to talk for skateboarding, then yeah. But if I want to be a well-actually ass nigga, I'd say it was Fight Night. But active reload for Gears. Hey, active reload was fun. It was original, man. We don't talk about skating here. Hey, speaking of Gears of War, NBA Street. I don't think NBA Street did anything innovative. It was just really fun. I mean, unless you want to count the Game Breaker, but even the Game Breaker, that's not innovative. That's just an ultimate. Gears of War voice actor says the Coalition nearly made Gears 6 instead of E-Day. Liam something brought JD Phoenix to life in Gears 4 and 5. The voice actor was praised in the upcoming Gears of War E-Day showcase in the new direction of the franchise, but has revealed Gears 6 was happening and he hopes to see the series continue. Gears of War E-Day is a 2026 prequel taking us all the way back to the events of Emergence Day and the fallout that ensued. It's a bold move following recent sequels, and one of the series' key voice actors has chimed in on Gears and where it could possibly be going. Sekiro with the revive yourself when you die mechanic. Second chance? No, that was Call of Duty. Sekiro's parry mechanic, though, it's not because it's not the first game to parry. It's probably the smoothest parry. They perfected it. But nah, I wouldn't say there's nothing super innovative there. Just a really good game. You would say it was innovative, Ethos? It wasn't the first game to have a parry system, though. I would say they mastered the parry system though. Street Fighter 6 with the modern controls. We don't talk about that, nigga. But it perfected it. That can be innovation. I'll give it a lowercase innovation. We don't want no modern control innovation. No, thank you. JD Phoenix's voice actor recently responded to the upcoming Gears of War E-Day presentation. He's delighted about the announcement and revealed that he's pumped to see what's happening. When asked if he's upset about the trilogy not being completed with Gears 6, here's what he had to say. I hope that they go back to it, but I love those guys and just want them to make a game they feel nails the Gears of War experience everyone loves. That'd be awesome. And hey, if that leads back to the trilogy, happy days. I just want to know, I need the Coalition to come out and confirm which storyline is canon. Because if you haven't played Gears 5, there's a pivotal moment in the game where you got to make a choice. And I chose the black man. That's what I want to know. Street Fighter 6's online rollback netcode is genre changing. No, it's not. That's not innovative. Rollback netcode was designed by the Cannon brothers. And there were other games that already had rollback netcode. Matter of fact, long before Street Fighter 6 had rollback netcode, Killer Instinct had it on the Xbox One. Guilty Gear Strive had it. Skullgirls, yeah, there was mad fighting games that had it. What Street Fighter 6 did do is make rollback netcode go mainstream because it was on more obscure fighting games. So like, I'll give that to Street Fighter. It was important that it implemented because now rollback netcode, now that pretty much everybody's experienced it thanks to Street Fighter 6, it's now the standard. I will give it that, but it didn't invent it. It didn't innovate nothing. Name a fighting game with a better rollback netcode. Guilty Gear Strive. It's smoother than Street Fighter 6. It is. Mortal Kombat 10 had it too. Yeah, that shit was ass though. I don't think that was real rollback. Guilty Gear Strive's rollback is better. Also, I'm not gonna lie. What's the name's rollback netcode is top tier too. What's the 2XKO? 2XKO's that has rollback netcode 2.0 from the Cannon brothers. They're literally the ones that invented it. That shit literally, as much as I'm not interested in 2XKO, 2XKO was probably the first fighting game where I felt like I was sitting next to somebody online. You not serious, TBH? Ain't no way. I am. 2XKO is developed by the people who created rollback netcode. They made rollback netcode 2.0. I know you're a fan. Listen, I'm a fan of Street Fighter 2. Them niggas invented it and made it better. What are you talking about? We're not talking about what's the best fighting game. We're talking about what's the best netcode. They didn't play the game. And I don't even like 2XKO, but that netcode is top tier. What are you talking about? GG's netcode was ass on launch. You not serious? I guess, bruh. I guess. Niggas are getting emotional. It is what it is. I ain't tripping. Tom and Tony being part of FGC forever. All that yapping. Shout out to Tekken 8. Still don't got no defensive mechanics. Speaking of disappointments, though, the first disappointment, Descendant, has no staying power, says Nexon. Remember this game 2 years ago? Like half the chat came in here and asked me, yo, TBH, are you going to play the latest and greatest live service slop? Are you going to play the first disappointment? You want to defend the computer a million times, TBH? I think this game's going to get a nomination. You need to play this shit, TBH. I was like, I'm not playing that shit. That shit looks ass. Matter of fact, I know it's ass. I played the beta, and all we did was defend the computer. It's Destiny with big titty bitches, bro. I was like, no, thank you. This nigga TBH trying to be different all the fucking time, bro. Well, the first Descendant hasn't even been on the market for 2 years, and the game's developer and publisher Nexon seems ready to write it off. In a recent financial update, Nexon CEO suggested while the first Descendant did well at launch in July of 2024, it quickly fell out of favor with gamers worldwide. He suggested that the structural changes would be needed to fix the first disappointment, as what's wrong with the game goes beyond a simple patch. So what's wrong with it is the shit is boring. Take it out back and shoot it. We've played this game before. As much as I hate live service games, the live service thing as a whole isn't the biggest issue. The issue is a lot of live service games are just not innovative and they're fucking boring. Innovation matters. And a lot of these live service games are just defend the computer missions, man. Destiny has done a lot of damage to the industry, man. It's generic, it's boring. It's just like a Suicide Squad. I stand on the fact that like Suicide Squad was not the worst game I ever played. The problem with it was painfully generic. Matter of fact, Suicide Squad and the first Disappointment are the same exact game to me. But for some reason, half the chat came in here and tried to convince me that this was gonna win awards. That's what it, matter of fact, man, I'm about to cook y'all niggas, man. That's what I was talking about earlier when I was talking about Crimson Desert. And I said, yo, the gaming community is so inconsistent about what you choose to kick in the throat, bruh. This nigga in the chat said, what's wrong with 1,000 updates the week the game come out? But then y'all the same people that say, I'm tired of these unfinished games, bruh. You kick Suicide Squad in the fucking throat, said it's generic live service slop, but then swore this game was lit. They're the same fucking game. It's just one's got Batman and the other one's got anime titties. Like, it's the same game. This shit is hypocritical, bro. This game, and I'm just to be clear, I like to crack jokes and shit, but this is not a terrible game. It's just painfully generic. We got to expand the vocabulary. That's the biggest problem with a lot of live service games. They're painfully generic. They do nothing innovative. They're just like, they're cool for an hour or two, but it's like you find yourself shutting your brain off within like an hour or two. It's like, I'm good off that, you know? We should have live service Batman with titties. This guy, IQ's dropping exponentially. And let's see. The First Descent is a third-person looter shooter that relied on pleasing the Gooner gamer crowd since the moment it hit the market. It's a divisive title that's firmly in the middle of the road when it comes to reviews, both from critics and from the average gaming audience. On Steam, it boasts mixed ratings from 110,000 reviews, and on Metacritic, it has a score of around 57 with a user score of 6.2. It's not winning any awards with numbers like that, but once upon a time, it was pretty popular. Taking Steam as an example, The First Descendant managed to secure an all-time high player count of 264,000 users, which isn't something to scoff at. However, at the time of the publishing, the game is floating around 5,000 users at best. Say it ain't so, man. In a recent financial document, Nexon's CEO and president declared that the game has no staying power. He directly said it's something that didn't work. Let me start with an assessment of what it didn't work. Dungeon & Fighter Mobile launched with a terrific momentum in 2024, then it's lost its way. The retention mechanics weren't strong enough to hold players long term. Same issue with The First Descendant's strong launch. No staying power. There are no design issues that are not fixed with the patch. They required structural changes to the game mechanics. Now, one of the biggest issues too is there's too many live service games. There's too many live service games on the market and not enough time for people to spend their time. I don't have time to grind my big titty anime bitch and time to grind King Shark and fucking Suicide Squad and time to grind somebody in Destiny and time to grind my fucking character in Marathon and time to grind my player in 2K. You see, that's one of the biggest problems. There's not enough time to play all of these games. So I would actually argue for the millionth time, these companies would benefit if they understood the path to success is make more single player experimental games with low overhead. Have your big AAA title that you know that bitch gonna hit, and then have a few smaller games, divvy the budget up, make some more experimental new IPs. Because then you don't have to worry about player retention. Just sell and then sell it for 30, 40, 50 bucks. Just sell a bunch of copies, problem solved. You don't have to worry about, I feel like the formula is right there. The gaming community has been around for fucking, since what? The 70s? We now have 50 years worth of data, and about 40 years of that data, it worked one way. Work on a game for a couple years, put together a dope story, some dope gameplay, maybe have multiplayer in it, and ship it. In the last 10 years, everything's changed when Fortnite came out. Now we got to have a Travis Scott concert. Now we got to have a Martin Luther King event. Now we got to have a Malcolm X event. It doesn't make any sense to me. You don't need to do all that shit. Why do you need to have an event where niggas got to wake up at 6 a.m. to watch two Gundams fight? Like, oh shit, the Gundams are fighting. Then they blow up. The map slightly changes and you do the same shit you was already doing. It's unnecessary. It's a waste of fucking money, man. It's a waste of money. Because I know for goddamn, I don't fucking care, dude. I don't care. Fucking capitalism. The data's right there. Let's get back to business, man. Obama's inaugural event. Did they actually have an Obama inaugural event? That's fucking funny if they did. We gotta have a Juice WRLD concert. Miyamoto isn't so sure about a Smash Bros. Style movie, and I know a lot of people are gonna go. Oh, before I read this article, I forgot to save this. I saw this on the timeline. Hold up 1 second. Let me go in the group chat. Because I put it in the group chat, but I forgot to save it. Looks like we got another viewer versus the critics misunderstanding, because the critic reviews came out on Rotten Tomatoes. It's sitting at a 43% overall for the new Mario Galaxy movie, with the worst review coming from the Times that gave it a 0 out of 5. But now the movie came out today, April 1st, and the fan reviews are in, and it's sitting at a 92%. With over 1,000 verified ratings. Now the same thing happened with the last Mario movie. I think the truth is probably in the middle, because I felt like the last Mario movie was like a 6 or a 7, so I feel like it's gonna be the same thing. I feel like the critics are too harsh. I don't know why they're going into a Mario movie expecting The Godfather when the story of every Mario game has been the same, just a different setting. Peach is in trouble, go rescue her. The first one was Peach is in trouble, a big ass monkey got her, so we gotta we gotta climb up the fucking ladder with our fucking hammer and hit that monkey in the head. Okay. Then we had one where you was on a dinosaur's back. You still had to go get Peach. You had one where you were on a fucking island with a backpack. You had to go get Peach. The story's been the fucking same. A nigga was in space. We had to go get Peach. Or Rosaline. Well, yeah, Pauline. Well, that was, all right, nigga, shut the fuck up. That wasn't Peach. Actually, it was Paulina, okay? Same shit, guys. Same shit. My bad. His old bitch Pauline, my bad. Same shit to me. They changed their hair color. So going into a Mario movie, to me, with that expectation for some world-renowned story is fucking crazy. And then on the opposite end of the spectrum, you have the fans that just cannot stand these people and want to stick it to them. And they're overrating the movie, in my opinion, because to say that the last Mario movie was a masterpiece is crazy. The last Mario movie was just a fun, silly kids movie full of nostalgia and Easter eggs, and I'm okay with that. It's a turn your brain off and have some fun. And that's okay every once in a while. Do I genuinely think this movie's a 92 out of 100%? Fuck no. I think the truth is probably in the middle. I'm not trying to make a joke, but I think, truthfully, the movie's probably a 6 or a 7. I'll see, because tomorrow, I'm seeing it tomorrow afternoon. No spoilers if you have seen it already. I'm seeing it tomorrow afternoon. But I do think it's funny that there's a crazy disconnect between viewers and reviewers. I want Mario to have depth like Interstellar. They going into Mario expecting Sinners 2. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? You asked for a little substance and now we wanted to be The Godfather, LOL. I didn't say all that. That's why I said the truth is somewhere in the middle. I would love to hear your thoughts after. You seen it already, JP? Mario movie would have been better with Jim Carrey. And you Sonic niggas are annoying too. Can I just say that? I see Sonic niggas all up and down my... You saw it? What would you rate it? You Sonic niggas been all up and down my timeline saying Sonic supremacy. Listen, guys, Sonic niggas have nothing to compare, have nothing to root home about, okay? Yes, your movies are good. I will give you that much. But that doesn't change the fact that your community is still weird as shit. Your movies are better than your games. That's nothing to brag about. I'd rather have good games over the movies. Because friendly reminder, nobody outside the Sonic community liked Sonic Frontiers. Sonic fans like that shit, but nobody else did, okay? That's why nobody talks about that fucking game. So please stop trying to shit on Mario every step that you get. It's still called Mario and Sonic at the Olympics, not Sonic and Mario, nigga. Get it together. I would say it's definitely a 6 or a 7. The more I'm thinking about it, it makes me teeter. That's a fair score. So you gotta read between. You gotta be read between. As long as I go in and I laugh here and there, that's all I expect. I'm not expecting anything crazy from this fucking movie, bro. What else I got? Oh, back to the Miyamoto article shit. Miyamoto isn't so sure about a Smash Bros. Movie. Sonic was the first video game I ever played, and I have no desire to watch any of those movies, even though it's got a soft spot in my heart. Hey, jokes aside, I'm not a big Sonic fan. They are good movies, Twizzington. The Sonic community is just fucking annoying. Like, take your win and be quiet. Y'all can't ever just take your win and be quiet. The Sonic movie, the Sonic Mario Galaxy movie goes beyond the Mushroom Kingdom and introduces a whole new cast of characters. It especially makes the Sonic community look bad because I saw also today that day one, it's already breaking records. The first movie made 31 million in the first day. They said they're on track to make 36 million today. So don't be surprised by Monday if the Mario Galaxy movie breaks some type of financial record. The Sonic movie ain't doing that. As you now know, there'll also be some faces that aren't even from this particular Nintendo universe. It's led to discussion once again about a possible Smash Bros. Style Nintendo Cinematic Universe movie. So what are the chances of it actually happening? Polygon asked Miyamoto about this recently, and while he's willing to make exceptions for his beloved Pikmin and some other characters in Mario's new outing, it doesn't necessarily mean it's building up to an all-star event led by the iconic Nintendo mascot. Shigeru Miyamoto said, I don't think you'll have a situation where all Nintendo characters would be joining together in one film. As you know, my rule is that Pikmin can appear in any Nintendo series. I love Miyamoto, but who the fuck is asking about that damn astronaut and them damn bugs? For now, the focus is on the Mario universe, and rather than opening the door to every Nintendo series, the team simply wants to spice up things by including secret cameos here and there. So they've got characters that slot into the Mario's world and also fit that Galaxy movie space theme. Illumination's CEO Chris Melandari elaborated on Miyamoto's comments in the same interview, mentioning how the crossovers in the Galaxy movie are more incidental than strategic. According to Melandari, Nintendo and Illumination focus on the project at hand, and the ideas come about based on what might be fun or may fit a certain scene. If we can agree that it's a fun idea, then we look to Miyamoto to just make his own judgment about whether or not it feels right to him. You know what I'm curious about? Since they said they're not leaning towards a Smash Bros. Movie, which is unfortunate, they just want to do cameos. I wonder if they would be open to maybe like a crossover video game with like cameos, where like, I don't know, Star Fox and Mario have to work together for some reason. Kind of like what was it? The last Ratchet and Clank game where they were jumping between dimensions. For some bullshit ass reason, Bowser finds a way. Bowser and what's that big ass monkey from Star Fox name? What was his name? The one that killed his daddy. Whatever that big monkey's name, Andross. Bowser and Andross find some way to communicate between the dimensions. They work together, and now Star Fox and Mario got to work together, and you play missions and playing. But like, I wonder if they would be open to that, because that could be fire, chat. That could be fire. That could be fire. Some movie adjacent games, not tie-ins, would be fire. Just some food for thought. It's unfortunate they say they don't want to do Smash Bros. Though. I hope they know that they are setting that expectation by doing that. So better Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, better Kingdom Hearts. Definitely, which wouldn't be hard to do. I mean, Mario teamed up with the rabbits, so why not? No, that's facts. That motherfucker teamed up with them random ass rabbits. There should be crossover Nintendo games outside of Pikmin, but Smash Bros. And I stand on the fact Waluigi is overdue for a game. What kind of game would it be? I don't know. But I feel like if Nintendo doesn't want to create new IPs, well, to be fair, they just haven't been sticking. Squid Kids hasn't stuck, in my opinion. It has a niche audience, but and then ARMS has no audience. If they can't find something new to create, can we get into the bag? Can we give Captain Falcon some spotlight? Like, you know what I'm saying? Chill TBH. Nintendo don't want to make no money. Well, they are making money. Y'all said y'all wasn't gonna buy that Switch 2 and you did, so wow. I've been begging for a Waluigi game. I'm begging for it. We need another classic Wario game. Nah, we need a Waluigi game. Does Xenoblade count as new? Nah, because it's been around for a while, but I get what you're saying. Yeah, that's part of the newer. The problem with Xenoblade is it's a very niche audience. Not only is it a JRPG, but it's a very hardcore one. That's a very niche audience. I feel like Shulk is from Smash Bros. Well, he's from Xenoblade, but I feel like Shulk in Smash Bros is more famous than the Xenoblade series, the same way I think Captain Falcon in Smash Bros is more famous than the F-Zero series, if that makes sense. They got to find a way to make that appeal to more people. Look, low-key Splatoon has been a breath of fresh air in the shooter genre. It's a good kind of content. Yeah, it's a good kind of different. I'm not saying Splatoon is a bad game. I'm just saying I don't think it caught on the way Nintendo wanted it to. And off the top of my head, Splatoon and ARMS are their latest like new properties, but they haven't really crossed over like I think they wanted them to. What's up, buddy? What you sniffing at me for, dude? Miyamoto expected significant resistance internally to Fox in the Mario Galaxy movies. Shigeru Miyamoto and Illumination's Chris Melodari are out promoting the new Galaxy Mario movie, and in an interview with the Forbes, the Star Fox creator has discussed how Fox McCloud ended up in the movie despite Nintendo's general resistance to mixing its IPs. Miyamoto told Forbes that the pitch to include Fox in the Mario movie came from Illumination. When I got the proposal from Chris about including Star Fox in general from Nintendo's perspective, we tend to avoid mixing IPs, he said, except for the Pikmin cameo. However, the idea appealed to the veteran designer and he stared lobbying activity in Kyoto's firm's HQ. Yo, shout out to the Nintendo America team. Or I mean Illumination, man. Taking that risk. If it wasn't for Illumination making that pitch, this would have never fucking happened, bro. As the creator of Star Fox in this movie taking place in space, I felt that I wanted to see that. One second, yeah. Anyways, I wanted to see what it would be like, but I also felt that there may be significant resistance internally about the idea. So after I got this proposal, I contacted the necessary parties involved and started my lobbying activity here at Nintendo. However, I was surprised to find that a lot of people saw a lot of potential with it and were really excited to see what could come out of this. And this is why it's important not to be surrounded by yes men and people who are willing to take chances. Because he came with a new idea and everybody liked the shit, bruh. I have not seen Mortal Shell 2 gameplay. You're the second person to bring it up. Should I look it up? I'm glad the Fox is in the movie. Hopefully the younger audience likes him. Yeah, that's why I was excited to see Fox in the movie, because he's going to be introduced to the new kids. And I feel like Fox McCloud is Nintendo's Sonic. Not from a gameplay standpoint, but like Fox is like their cool character. Probably Samus too. But Fox is just a cool motherfucker. And I feel like a lot of kids are like, oh, I like that guy. So I'm hoping that leads to a new game, basically. After the first movie was done, there were 2 phone calls that came from actors expressing incredible conviction and passion about being involved with Nintendo, and one of them was Glenn Powell. I don't blame him. He explained that we had to understand how deeply he had loved the character of Fox McCloud. His dream was one day to be part of the Star Fox movie. I'm listening to this going. He has no idea that Miyamoto and I were talking about Star Fox being in this new movie, and Glenn is expressing this passion for it. Shout out to Big Glenn, man. They wanted the money for the furries. Is that what it was? Yeah, Mortal Shell 2's gameplay looks really good. All right, bet. I'll pull it up. It's not a lot of news today. I'll pull it up. Let's see. Mortal Shell. But yeah, shout out to the Illumination team for taking that risk, man. That's got me excited for the movie. Oh yeah, this dropped 12 hours ago. Okay. Let me get through the rest of these articles real quick. Oh, Amazon says its Fallout series has now been watched over 100 million people, with season 2 joining. Season 1 is 2 of their top 4 biggest seasons ever. So season 1 and 2 are some of the biggest shows on Amazon. Shout out to them, bro. I just started watching season 2 of Fallout. It's fire. Watch it. Invincible. I'm watching it. It's fire. I don't have anything else to say. We playing Meat